All right, so we are live, Love of the Links podcast, and we have a large group with us today. I'm pretty stoked about this. This is going to be a lot of fun getting to know some of our LPGA and PGA professional judges. But where I wanted to start was some video messages. So I'm attempting to screen share. It worked when I was testing it. So we're going to hop over to there. And our first message is from one of the three celebrity judges. Well, you guys are celebrities too, Jason, Zoe, Tom, and Michelle, but these Hall of Famers carry a little bit more clout than any of us combined. So we'll start with Mr. Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus here. This is usually the time we're going to name the best Pee Wee golf swing in the world. But obviously, with what's going on, we can't do that. But I'm glad you delayed it back to July 1st. Each year you send us pictures of swings to these kids, and boy, are there some swings. There are some great swings in here. There's some beginning swings. There's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of people. A lot of these kids are going to be great players one day, and we want to help them do that. If we can help identify some of the best swings and identify some of these kids that have got a future. I'm proud to do that. I know Annika and Jordan are happy to be part of this, as well as all the other judges. So we're looking forward to July 1st, and we look forward to having a good contest this year. We can pick that, and of course, I wish all the kids the best of luck in finding the best Pee Wee swing, best Pee Wee golf swing in the world. And we'll look forward to talking to you later.
So, of course, that's Mr. Jack Nicklaus, and next up, Annika.
Once again, it's a pleasure to be a judge for the best Pee Wee golf swing in the world contest. The deadline has been extended to July 1st, but it doesn't dampen the enthusiasm. In the past, we've had some great swings, and I'm sure this year will be no different. So please submit your golf swings, have some fun, and good luck.
And unfortunately, we didn't get one from Jordan, but we'll start there. That's pretty cool that this is our 10th anniversary of this contest. And while, having these celebrity judges is a cool thing, and especially folks like Jack and Annika who have been judges multiple times, I think the heart and soul of our judging and of our contests are the folks that are with us right now. So we're gonna run down the line. These are the teaching pros. These are the boots on the ground, helping people enjoy the game, become better at the game, whether they're little kids or 99-year-olds. But I think we'd all agree that little kids are kind of easier to work with for most of us. But we'll start down the line. And what I want to do is have you guys just give me a brief background and history of how you got started, where you're at, what you're doing now. So we're going to start in the order. We'll start with Mr. Tom Reid. Welcome, Tom.
Thanks very much, Brendon. Firstly, that was pretty cool, seeing Jack Nicklaus and Annika, they're two legends of the game, involved in this. And actually, I want to speak for everyone else here, but I have to kind of pinch myself a little bit to see my picture up next to those guys in the judging panel. It's pretty surreal and a real honor, so thank you. So a little bit about me. So I'm from London, England. And I started the game when I was 11 years old, and I always dreamt of winning the putt to win the Open Championship. That was what got me started in the game. And then I played all the way through till sort of my early 20s, and then decided that I wanted to become an instructor. And one of the first things that I was tasked with at Wentworth, where I was doing my PGA training, was to teach the juniors. And I had a small group of kids that I would instruct for a couple of hours a week. And I found that I actually started enjoying it so much, it just didn't feel like work to me. And it started with a small group of kids, and it grew out. And I was, before, I guess, a year into that, I was teaching 65 kids on a weekly basis at Wentworth there, and started up the first junior academy, which was when I first got involved with US Kids, actually. My first visit to the PGA Trade Show was where I met you, Brendon. I was Googling junior golf coaches to meet and learn something from, and spent some time with you, and spent some time training with US Kids. And US Kids gave me my first real kind of formal training in junior instruction. And, they did some brilliant things for me. I used their program at Wentworth for years, and They were gracious enough to give me a top 50 award, like all of you guys have had too. So since then, I moved on and started working for David Ledbetter at Stoke Park Golf Club, which is another big country club where I continued to work with juniors. And I started, now working with more elite players rather than beginner juniors and sort of contributing to participation. I was more contributing to development in trying to get these kids into elite golf. And now I've taken a step kind of back from where I started, and I'm the director of golf at Sunnydale Heath, which is a custom-made course for kids just outside of London. And I'm back to coaching in the region of 40 to 60 kids on a weekly basis. I've got 4-year-olds that I'm teaching them how to hold the club, and I've got 11-year-olds that want to be the next Rory. So kind of full circle back to where I was before. But junior develops my passion, and I'm really pleased to kind of be part of a network like this and sharing with you guys. And a lot of that's been happening over the last few weeks. During lockdown, there's been a great opportunity to educate and learn some of the more sort of basic fundamentals that sometimes you can look past 10 years into coaching. So I'm in my 10th year now, and really happy to be here. So that's me.
Cool. And we really appreciate you having aboard, Tom. It's been cool getting to know you, just like everybody else on this call over the last couple of years. Zoe, you're up. We'll stay over on that side of the pond.
Yeah. So Zoe Allan. I am from Lurgan, which is County Armagh, Northern Ireland. So I teach full time out of Lurgan Golf Club. I set up my own academy called Zoe Allan Golf, probably in this last 4 or 5 years. So I guess I started my training, I want to say about 7 years ago, at a golf course called Beaver Park Golf Club, which is situated in Belfast. So started my training there, moved to where I am now, Lurgan, and I guess the head pro there gave me something similar to Tom, an opportunity to take the junior section of that golf club and, see what I could do. So I kind of had a given to me, if you like, in terms of what way I wanted to develop it, how I wanted to run the program. So that was really the starting point for teaching juniors. Then I sort of went to develop my own sort of golf school. And just like Tom had mentioned, obviously started with the US Kids program. So it really helped kind of develop the juniors that I have. I've spent a bit of time with Michelle over in Virginia, seeing what sort of a setup she has. And I know, Brendon, I dropped down to see you. So I guess really spending time with other coaches and learning from other coaches has helped with my development. I guess sort of on a rewind, I became a PGA Pro in 2017. So I've now been teaching, if you like, fully for about 5 years. So yeah, I just spend most of my time teaching juniors. I do teach the odd adult, but mainly kids from the age of sort of 3 and 4 years right up to kind of 15, 16. Is sort of the main focus. So yeah, I just really enjoy what I do. I know Tom mentioned it doesn't really feel like work. So yeah, it's strange at the minute though, because you're so used to being on the go and interacting with so many people. So yeah, no, I really enjoy what I do. So yeah.
One of the things that I feel is a common thread between everybody on the call is everybody's pretty modest, but these are not your average golf instructors at your local club. None of the 4 of the folks on this call are. These are folks that are multiple award-winning, very, very highly respected in their countries and really throughout the world. And that's why I handpicked all 4 of the judges. So let's move on to Michelle.
Hey everyone, my name is Michelle Holmes. I grew up in Ireland and I moved to America when I was 18. I played college golf for Campbell University in North Carolina. I've always had a keen interest in coaching. So when I graduated from college, I entered the LPGA Teaching and Club Pro program and went through my qualifications there and have pretty much been teaching for the last 15 years. I now have a golf academy in Virginia, and we have 3 locations. We have a student base of 100% kids. We see about 500 kids a year, ranging in ages from 3 to 18, and ranging from your Pee Wee golfer all the way up to your advanced high school competitive golfer. So yeah, we're just having a fun time, bringing a lot of golf families on a lot of golf journeys.
Thanks, Michelle. And last but not least, my friend from up in Canada, Jason. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks, Brendon. This is my 27th year coaching. How long do I have to?
Oh, you got as long as you want. We can go forever tonight.
Just kidding. I started golf when I was 14. It was the only sport my dad didn't teach me, and you know, I played hockey at a high level and football and all those sports growing up. But I got into golf at 14, and didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I saw a Golf Digest ad that had Golf Academy of America on it, and you and I are both familiar with those places. You being a former professor there, and me being a former student, and then later on advisory board member. So that's how I got started in golf, and it's been a whirlwind. Been lucky enough to collect a few awards along the way, and I've been really focused more on teaching juniors in the last probably 5 years. They seem to gravitated towards me versus being in some of the group coaching programs around. They seem to want a little bit more individual coaching. A lot of the parents in this area, I'm in Toronto, which is 7 million people. So there's lots of coaches where they can go and do all kinds of different coaching, but I seem to be getting a little bit more of the competitive golfers in my we call it I guess group of kids. So
stable.
Yeah, stable. That's the word. Thank you. So it's been great. I love it, and that's where I got started. And it's my 14th year at the club that I've been at, Windance Golf Club, just outside of Toronto, Northeast city. It's about 40 minutes, not even from downtown. So 25 minutes from a bunch of other places. So I have a good draw of kids coming in the area, and there's US Kids Junior Tour, there's CJGA, there's Maple Leaf Junior Tour. So we have 3 tours in the area for kids to play.
Yeah, and where I wanted to start, obviously, beyond the intros for everybody, is pretty strange times we're living in right now. That goes without question. But I had Tom on a couple weeks ago. We chatted about some of the things he's doing. I think everybody on this call is pretty proficient in social media, and it seems like that's been an avenue for staying in touch with a lot of your students, a lot of your juniors, and just providing stuff for them when they're cooped up at home. So we'll start in the same rotation, starting with Tom. What's the current status of your situation personally as far as teaching, and if it's regulated just to doing stuff online? What are you finding as challenges, and what are you finding as potential future opportunities going forward?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, so I haven't given a lesson for about a month now. We've been on full lockdown over here. The only thing that we have open is supermarkets, and anything that's essential. So, I've been at home. I've been going to the club to pick up posts, and that's about it. So I've been keeping in contact, on a daily basis and quite frequently with a lot of my students. I have a WhatsApp group for my junior program. And it's the best way to reach out to everyone. If I pick up a nice article or a YouTube video or something that I think might interest the kids, then I'll forward it to them on that group. But another thing I'm doing is a junior daily challenge. So I go out into my back garden and just conjure up a game if I can. I was trying to keep it kind of simple to start with, but the kids keep responding back, and they're like making my games look so easy. So I'm trying to make them harder and harder and harder each day, but I've got loads more ideas. So that's good for me because it's kept me ticking over. I really miss the interaction with the families and the kids. And, it's as much for me as it is for them. So I'm using social media as well, as much as I can. Trying to, and through the daily challenge, I'm able to sort of gather content so that I can keep an audience on social media as much as I possibly can. I'm nowhere near as proficient as the girls are. I mean, Michelle in particular, social media is incredible. I'm trying my very best to get as much of that going as I can, but I'm also using Coach Now, which is just an online coaching app where kids and adults will send me swings in, and then I'll do a voiceover analysis and then respond back to them nice and quick. And I'm not charging for anything that I'm doing at the moment. I know that some people are out there. You know, I'm not earning a lot at the moment like a lot of people are, but I think the right thing to do is to do right by your clients, by your students. You know, look after them. If they're able to hit a few shots, or if they have a few questions, or if they've read an article that they want you to kind of decipher for them, then you should just go ahead and do that, because I think it's really important. Because when we come out of lockdown, we're going to want to get back to work and get busy again. And I think everyone's financial situation is going to be, you know, slightly different. People are going to be a bit more careful. And obviously luxuries might start to slow down a little bit. So I think it's really important to give as much as you can whilst keeping your brain active too. So there's so many online certifications that there's almost too many. So there's no excuse really. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I'm just wondering, Junior, I think I'm on day 15 today. So I'm wondering what I'm actually going to get to before this opens back up again. But hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, agreed. Zoe?
Yeah, so it was strange the first few days, I must admit. Whenever we went into lockdown, it was kind of strange having a bit of time. But after about day 3, I think you know, had to really try and plan out the rest of the month, or the next few months, I guess. So yeah, trying to do a few things to stay you know, to stay connected. So sending out a weekly newsletter every Monday, just really a touch and base with everyone, maybe a few tips for things that can, you know, look at, or something I've read or seen. Links in there, and possibly a quick practice drill. So trying to keep the newsletter sort of short and simple, that it's not a chore to read, but, you know, something that you're, you know, sending out that people know that you're still kind of there, as well as trying to kind of reach out personally to individual players and clients, just to, you know, it could only be a quick text just to say, hey, I'm thinking about you, or hope you're keeping well. So yeah, I guess trying to stay in touch with people as best I can. Now I know Tom's doing his daily challenge. I have a weekly challenge is what I'm at, Tom. So a weekend challenge. I post it out every Friday, kind of giving them the opportunity to, you know, complete the challenge over the weekend. So this weekend's challenge was the domino effect. So basically I set up a pack of dominoes, knocked them down, not, you know, quite original, I guess, but I guess encouraging all the kids to try and come up with what they can use as dominoes. So we've had a few good ones back in: Jenga blocks, old Christmas cards, a pack of cards. So yeah, it's good fun, I guess, just giving them something to do and keep them, you know, keep them ticking over. So really trying to stay in touch with people as best I can. That's really all. I haven't been taking online lessons or anything, but I have heard of Coach Now, so might have to look into it over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool platform. I know Jason and Tom both use it. Michelle, what have you been doing to keep busy? I know we've talked offline, and you've been doing a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I've been very busy with all these webinars, podcasts, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone. But as far as the kids, yeah, we have a lot of communication with the kids. Like Zoe and Tom, we're doing challenges. We're putting them out every other day. So we're finding that's a fun way to stay in contact with the kids, and we're finding that's a fun way for the kids to stay in contact with each other. And we have started to dabble a little bit in video lessons. And that's been cool. I've never done any online or video lessons before, so I really feel like that's forced me to learn to teach in ways that I've never taught before, and it's forcing my students to learn in ways that they've never learned before. So that's been pretty cool to see. And then yeah, I think communication is key. I mean, we're a huge part of these kids' lives, and we're pretty much just being ripped out of their lives. So even if it's something as, you know, daily text messages, FaceTime, you know, phone calls, just the simple stuff, I think that's really important to the kids.
Yeah, agreed. Jason, you've been keeping busy with online, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've done a couple Instagram lives. I did one with Dr. Rob Bell the other day. That was fun. And that's, I mean, keeping myself busy, keeping the kids busy. I am doing online coaching from time to time, a few days a week. With some students. I have a few different platforms. So I have a sort of a coach on demand right now, which is live coaching, either FaceTime, Skype, or Zoom. Then I have the Coach Now platform, which is basically video analysis. So there's 4 of those per month. And I do face on and down the line, both of those. And then I have the Zoom pod coaching, which is group coaching as well, and 1 private lesson, private coaching session per month. And then I've got another app that I represent called Pro Golf Me, which is another app that is similar to Coach Now.
You know, one of the things that and a lot of the, like Michelle was talking about, a lot of the webinars and chats with people and doing certifications like Tom was talking about, it's interesting and how people utilize this time being locked down. And I had mentioned on a couple other podcasts that, you know, you could go one or two ways as an instructor with this. You could kind of bury your head in the sand and wait for the doors to get unlocked, or you could continue to, you know, stay engaged with your student base and educate yourself and learn about a lot of the new things that are out there. So my next question to go around the table here is, you know, what do you feel the state of the game was prior to all this? Obviously, we know where we're at currently. And what do you think is going to come out of, you know, this situation that we're in as we start to move forward and out of this COVID-19 state? Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. The pressure's building when it comes to courses reopening over here at the moment. There's definitely a split party line on that. A lot of people are passionate about it being open. On a personal note, I think this is way more important than any game. You know, I'd much rather have everyone safe and healthy, and then golf's going to be there when we're back again. You know, at our club, Sunnydale, at the moment, we've got 2 greenkeepers looking after the course. You know, it's financially, it's a massive strain on golf clubs and golf courses. For us, you know, our membership renewals were in March, which was right in the middle of all of this chaos. So it was a tough time for us to convince people to pay their subs when they have no idea of when they're going to be able to be playing golf again.
Yeah.
So the thing that we've been doing, similar to everyone's story here about engaging and staying in communication with clients, we've been doing that in the form of newsletters. So lots of e-shots out to the database, lots of YouTube offers. We're doing a live cooking session with our chef this week. We do have a takeaway service where the members can come and buy food. So we're doing as much as we can, but no doubt we're under pressure. And membership at our club had declined over the last few years. So we're on a mission to increase numbers at the moment. And now we've had one of the wettest winters here in England in a number of decades. So we've had a rough winter followed by obviously a couple of months of closure now. So things are tough. Over here in terms of membership, people are still taking lessons. Lesson diaries have been very full for us at the club and in and around London. But the one thing is definitely membership. People are opting for more sort of flexi golf. They don't want to be assigned to one club. They want to be, we have this thing called a county card, which is where you pay for a membership for the county, so the region that you live in, and then you can play all of the courses within that region at a reduced rate. And that sort of model is getting quite popular now. So yeah, I think for us, we're going to have to move with the times. We're definitely going to put out a trial membership for the second half of the year, because I know a lot of people have left their club. So there's a lot of golfers out there that are going to be looking for a home. So we're going to try and use it as an opportunity. But yeah, we've got a big challenge ahead of us, and let's just hope the second half of the year can be a bit more active than the first half.
Yeah, and I guess it really just boils down to what type of attitude you're going to bring into this, and as we come out of it, how you can, you know, kind of hit the ground running. And it's definitely a difficult situation. You know, what I find interesting, you know, Michelle and I are both here in the United States, but having 3 of you in other countries, seeing your situations, we were talking a little bit about this in the before we started recording, and it's in some respects it's same, but in other respects, like here in the United States, it's really boiled down to each state what they want to do as far as opening back up. And I think Michelle can probably speak on this too. I think it brings a little bit of confusion because you're getting directed by the national government on how to do things, and then the states are going to be the ones that are making the final decision. We've been open here in Florida, golf courses, but teaching's been really, really limited, especially group stuff. Michelle, are your courses still open in Virginia?
And yeah, our courses are still all open. So yeah, I mean, it's really weird for me as well. I mean, all my kids are playing golf on a daily basis, and it's a tough situation.
And it's strange in that regard, but I guess in one respect for you guys in the UK and Ireland and in Canada, you're shut down. So basically there's not that itching like Michelle and I have. Well, the kids are out playing and we're sitting here not being able to go out and interact with them. But Zoe, what do you feel about, how we're all going to come out of this? And I'm sure you're going to echo a lot of what Tom said, how things are going to be post COVID-19.
Yeah. So reiterating what Tom said there about the weather, here in Ireland we had probably the worst winter, so it was tough. There wasn't much golf really played kind of January, February, the start of March. Well, March was probably starting to get good, and now obviously we're locked down. So yeah, where we're at, the Golf Union of Ireland, they made the call to shut all courses, so that was north and south. So that call was made sort of tail end of March, and they've extended it out until the 9th of May. So that was everything had to shut down: clubhouses, driving ranges, the golf course, we're the same, still have a couple of guys kind of maintaining it. But I guess it's hard to see where we're going to come out of this. At our club, we're encouraging members still to pay memberships. Obviously the course still needs maintained, and it will be there once we get out of this. So it's definitely a tricky one, but it's hard to know in terms of group interaction. I can't see that we're going to just come out of this and go back into our, junior coaching programs where you have, groups of kids coming in one after the other. I say it'll take a while to get to that. So I suppose I'm kind of trying to, think, is it just going to be private lessons that we're going to be allowed to take? Are you going to have to think differently about how groups are going to run? Not to mention then, junior tournaments, whenever you're having lots of kids together there, lots of families together, that's going to be different. So I think there's going to definitely need to be a transition period, and I think it'll be for a few months. So it's not like we're just coming out of it straight back to what we're used to. We're going to have to, think of ways to adapt and get used to it, but just obviously when, we don't know. So yeah, it'll take a bit of getting used to, I think, coming out of this period.
And I think the thing that's frustrating for everybody is just not knowing when we're going to be able to start doing things again. I know a couple of you run US Kids Tours, and that's something else that we need to try to figure out. My PGA friend of mine just launched a new tour this year. Perfect timing on that. We played one event in March and then nothing. So it's frustrating, and obviously it's a fluid situation. So we just kind of have to ride things out and see. Michelle, what are you thinking? I know you had mentioned to me that you're starting with the online stuff, and that's new for you. So I'm trying to take some positives myself from all this. I'm doing stuff now that I didn't really do very heavily before. So I'm trying to take that as a positive. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of good things going on in the golf world. I mean, growth of the game initiatives were through the roof before this happened. Junior golf was at an all-time high. Kids are playing younger, and they have more opportunities. I guess for me, the biggest thing is looking at the teaching world and what's going to happen with that. And, as I said earlier, as a teacher, we're being forced to communicate and teach in ways that we never have, and our students are learning in different ways. And you just wonder how much of this is going to stick and it's going to be our new future, and how much of it is going to go back to the old way of doing things. And I guess we're going to see a mixture of both, but it's just hard to know, what's going to happen.
Jason, one of the things I was going to mention to you before I get into your answer to this question is the PGA of America has kind of adopted a model that's been, going pretty strong in Canada for a while, a kind of a national model for sports and for youth in particular. And I went through some of the ADM training, and I know that Canada's did that really heavily with hockey, and I know that's something that you do with junior golf as well. How involved are you with that?
Well, that I'm not, but that ADM program is basically more or less a copy of our LPT program, almost exactly the same. They just changed some of the verbiage and wording. But going back to online coaching, I had online coaching in 2003 using Dartfish software. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that.
Yep.
But I had my web designer write a program where I could post the media books right online. into HTML so they could see them instead of just doing a PDF. And whether I was ahead or not, but it didn't take off the way I thought it might, because people wanted the, you know, interaction back and forth. So now we're sort of facing this, we can't be face-to-face until the state of emergencies in each particular state or province are lifted. So in British Columbia on the West Coast, Vancouver Golf Tour is opening. Their golf courses are open. Alberta also open. Ontario's closed. Quebec is closed. So it's the same thing, state, province, deciding who's open, who's not. So that's kind of the predicament we're in, I guess, until ours is, you know, May 12th. So when the next deadline is to either extend the, you know, the state of emergency or withdraw it. So we won't find out until then. But I'd like to think that people aren't going to be in a state of paranoia when they come out and you know, be avoiding each other so much as they are right now, because we're forced to do that. I'd like to think that, you know, positively, I think we're going to return to some kind of normalcy. You know, but we'll see what happens, I guess. As of right now, one-on-one coaching 6 feet away, I was doing that until May 20th, or sorry, March 20th.
Yeah.
So I was teaching a couple of doctors. I teach a few physicians, and I asked them, and they're like, we have to stay and, you know, and stay the course here and just do this, and we'll be okay. And a couple of internal medicine guys, and they didn't seem to be too alarmed at that point. But I mean, obviously it's different everywhere in every country, and we'll find out, I guess, sooner or later what's going to happen. But yeah. But yeah, so it's I think the game will return to the state that it will be in. Obviously, it'll just take a little bit longer than we want to.
The last question, and then after that last question, I'm going to give you guys all an opportunity to promote all your social media, your websites, because like I think people should know who you guys are. So, but before that, let's get to the swing contest, because that is something that is still going on. In fact, we extended the deadline. And what do you guys look for in particular? I know it's probably different for each of the age groups, like the under 3, which is my favorite category. I don't look for anything in particular except if that kid's video just kind of grabs me. So what do you guys look for from the swings? Tom?
You know, I like a swing with style. You know, I like, you know, some of my favorite swings are like a Calvin Pete or a Phil Mickelson or a John Daly. You know, I like a kid kind of throwing a load of energy into a shot. If they're almost falling over or standing up on 2 tiptoes, that's the kind of swing I look for. You know, there's some brilliant videos that come out. Some of the productions absolutely obscene. It's like they're coming out of Hollywood. But yeah, I mean, I want to see like the energetic kind of style swings. Those are the ones that where the kid looks like they're really enjoying thumping the golf ball. Those are my favorite swings to look at.
And I guess it's really no surprise to you guys because you all work with juniors, and a lot of you start with them super young. That was one of the primary reasons why I started this contest 10 years ago, because there wasn't a lot of focus on those younger age groups. And I was seeing quite fantastic things from kids as young as 3 and 4. And I'm sure you all agree on that. So I felt like this was something that people needed to see. And especially the instructors that are afraid to teach these young ages. There's all kind of potential there. Zoe, what do you look for?
Yeah, I guess the number one thing that I'll be looking for in the swings is good balance. I know it's hard at all the different ages to try and kind of look for that, but I guess if they have kind of a good balance, good motion through the swing, and I'm all about a good balanced finish. So if I can see that, that's what I'll be looking for.
That's one of the keys for me too. Once you get past that under 3, 4 age group, that's one of the things I really look for. And you know, there are some naysayers out there with the whole idea of this contest. Look, by no means do we take this 100% serious. Now, there are some kids that have amazing golf swings, they're amazing players, But as we all know, an amazing golf swing doesn't necessarily equate to good scoring or vice versa. There may be kids that have a very unique swing, like Tom said, who can shoot lights out. So this is just a fun contest. And if we identify some kids while they're young and then they move on to bigger and better things when they get older, so be it. And that's a pretty cool thing. Michelle, what do you look for?
Yeah, so it is a fun contest, and the first thing I have to say is I do love when we can see the kids' personalities shine through. When you watch the video, you feel like you got to know the kid a little bit more. But of course, it boils down to that golf swing. I guess golf swing wise, I'm just looking for solid fundamentals. I love a simple swing, a repeatable swing. So a simple, repeatable swing that gives good ball striking. I guess that's what I'm going to be looking for.
Yep. And Jason, what do you look for?
Well, you know, I'm looking for angle of attack, creative closure, balance. I want to make sure they have good, good swing plane. I'm looking for all those things. No, that's for all the naysayers out there who don't want to see kids have fun. No, definitely good stability though. I look at that, some rhythm of the swing, and then I'm always looking at the very end to see what the kids' smile looks like. Yeah. See how much fun they're having in doing this videos, for the contest with their parents.
And Jason, this is your first year as a judge, and we're definitely going to keep you on for coming years. You're going to really, really be impressed, because at this point you've only seen little glimpses when we put that collaboration video of all the swings. When you get all these videos and then we start getting into the voting.
I remember sending my kids 2 kids videos in the first year.
Yeah.
They the brother and sister, Andre and Emily.
And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I look for all of your individual students too, and I really put those ones under the microscope. So the last thing, I want to thank you guys, but the last thing I wanted to do was kind of go one more lap around, starting with Tom, and just, give the folks listening or that'll watch the replay any place they can reach out to, whether it's social media, website, email, whatever you want to put out there. Tom.
Best way to get hold of me is via Twitter or Instagram, and my handle is Tom Reid Golf. So TOMRAID Golf.
Okay. Zoe?
Yeah, so Zoe Allan Golf. I have my own website, zoeallangolf.com, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all Zoe Allan Golf.
Okay, Michelle?
You can find me on Facebook at Michelle Holmes School of Golf, on Instagram, Michelle Holmes Golf, and on Twitter at mholmes golf.
And Michelle is the queen and king of Instagram for junior golf instructors. He gets a big following. So kudos to you. And Jason, what about you, bud?
I'm everything right here. It's Jason Helman Golf. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. It's all under Jason Helman Golf.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. It was really fun talking to all of you. And let's just keep pushing that contest. Hopefully we'll get Mr. Spieth to do a video. I've been pushing it, but hopefully we'll get him to do one, and we'll put that out there. Enjoy your evenings if you're over the pond. I guess everybody, it's evening here too. So enjoy your evenings, and I appreciate the time, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Be safe.